will be further blessed. I pray for the people of our community tonight. I pray for the old and the young alike. I pray for all that are contributing to this community in one way or another to make it happen. And I would pray that Millville, known as the Holly City for years, definitely would be a stronger city and a blessed city. I ask of this tonight in the name of God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son, and the Comforter, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend. You may all be seated. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any review changes to the agenda?
There are two, Mayor. We had two due to time constraints with the holiday on Monday. We had the addition of Resolution 15 ratifying the First Amendment to purchase and sale of agreement with Rovignati USA Incorporated, and also the addition of Resolution 16 approving Second Amendment to the purchase agreement with New Development LLC.
Thank you. Bills, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the bills to be paid upon being properly certified.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Minutes?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve and dispense with the reading of the following minutes: February 5th, 2019 work session, closed session, and regular session.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I now turn the meeting over to Commissioner Cooper for presentations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Testing. Good. All right. Good evening, everyone. How are you? So, we have this program here, a program that we call Unity in the Community. It's really a program where we as commissioners look to people in the community that are doing amazing things. And this is not just people who are maybe having a couple meetings, maybe just hanging out a little bit and getting their face on Facebook or doing anything where they're putting themselves out there just to be seen. So this is a program that we put together that we wanted to honor people and to really just honor people that are doing great things in the community, people that are getting their hands dirty, rolling up their sleeves, and really doing the work in the community to turn the community around. So this is something that we put together as commissioners, and we'd like to acknowledge. There's a lot more that are going to be recognized within this program, but tonight we want to recognize someone that's really special, and that's Pastor Ralph D. Graves. And when I think of Pastor Graves, one word comes to mind. It's integrity. I know that maybe there are some that figure that this word is not as important as it used to be. But I think all of us in this room who know Pastor Graves know that that's not the case. When we talk about truth and honesty, when we talk about doing what you're saying that you're going to do and you actually do it, this man does it every time. And that's what we need in our community to change it. We don't need talk. We need people who walk the walk. And when you think of Pastor Graves, that's the first thing that comes to mind. This is a man who not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk. And so, I may be a bit biased because he is my pastor. But even if he wasn't, I would say he still walks the walk and he talks the talk. So, I'd like to read this proclamation. Whereas Ralph D. Graves serves as the founder and senior pastor of Cornerstone Community Church in Millville, he is the founder and vice president of Cities Hope Community Development Corporation and founder of Project U. He is also a member of the National Speakers Association, National and Philadelphia chapters. Whereas, having been certified by the John Maxwell team as a coach, a speaker, a leadership trainer, Mr. Graves decided to pair up with his newly acquired training with his business experience and create Project U, Executive Coaching and Leadership Multiplier. Project U offers customizable training programs, resources, and assessment tools that have proven to develop, improve, and multiply leadership through its unique Cornerstone system. And whereas Ralph D. Graves retired as a police sergeant after 20 years of dedicated service to the state of New Jersey. And whereas Ralph D. Graves is the vice president of Cities Hope Community Development Corporation, a not-for-profit organization rooted in community beautification through education and providing resources. Ralph D. Graves is also on the advisory board of Protection from Abuse Services that facilitates women's strategic removal from abusive relationships. And whereas Ralph D. Graves has helped with the organization of the following community projects, being Mommy and Me Gift Drive, which served 190 plus community women. Bridging the Gap is a summer food service program for children, summer literacy program for children, food pantry, and hiring neighborhood residents for jobs around the church and around the city. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the City of Millville do hereby express their sincere appreciation and recognizes Ralph D. Graves, Jr. for his time and dedication to our community, unselfish devotion, and for the advancement of the City of Millville, and his efforts to improve the quality of life for our citizens now and for future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ralph D. Graves.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us and having me here, and I thank you for this Unity and in the Community Award citation here. This is beautiful, but none of this happens without Cornerstone Community Church. None of this happens. None of this happens without being able to move in a beautiful city like Millville. So thank you for the city of Millville saying yes to all the wacky ideas and the things I try to come up with. Nobody stands in the way. So I'm really blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be in the city. I'm blessed to be around commissioners like you all. I'm blessed to pastor a phenomenal church like Cornerstone, and just I feel just an attitude of gratitude when it comes to serving this city and the residents of this city. So thank you very much. And if anybody needs anything at any time, feel free to give us a call over at Cornerstone, and we'll jump right in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, moving forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. Great job. Yeah. Folks, if you want to stay, you can stay. If you have to leave, leave. We prefer that you stay. Just saying. Just saying. Well, I should have waited a few minutes.
Shouldn't have said that right away.
I should have waited a few minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay. Great job, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now we're in the public comment part of the meeting on agenda items only. Anyone that has a comment on an agenda item, the agendas are over there. Step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments. Mary, for 5 minutes, please. Go ahead.
Not a problem. Good evening. My name's Mary Messick. I'm here of Millville. My concern is on the agenda item about the Levoy Theater. Don't get me wrong. I think the Levoy Theater is nice, but at the same token, they should be held under the same accountability that I'm held under. I'm held liable to pay my bills when they're due, not sit there and constantly ask for a reduction. I understand they might be struggling, but they can't sit there and survive or even think about trying to survive on their own if they're constantly coming back to the city and asking the city for help. I'm sorry. I believe personally you guys need to rethink this issue out. They've already been given one deduction. Constant deductions isn't going to pay the bill. Taxes eventually will increase, and people that are struggling on a fixed income like myself are going to be the ones that are going to be paying the highest price. And I really think you guys really need to think it over. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mary. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. Angeline Broomhall, Millville. There's two things I'd like to discuss, and maybe you can provide some clarification. One is the Levoy, one is the modification. It's resolution number 11, and the other is the grant for the loans. It's resolution number 12. This is the third rework of the original loan for number 11. I'm concerned about that. The vote you vote on for this tonight does affect us. This money's not going to be getting paid back into the city, which goes to money that's not coming into the budget. That means that somehow it's got to be made up, and it's going to have to be in part made up from the money that I need to clothe my daughter. So it's real money. The second is the grant. And maybe I don't understand it. I understand that it's UEZ money. That money could have been invested in a million other ways. But we chose to invest it in a project that's not giving us a return. It's not even paying us back what it promised. In addition to that, we're providing police services and fire inspections. We're making sure that that building is safe. Any sort of company that comes in, we have to provide services just like any home. That costs me money. Again, money that could be used to feed my daughter. That money could have been invested in other ways in this city, and a promise was made that we would be paid, and we're not. And I think we need to go back to the drawing board and work on a legit thing where the Levoy fulfills its promise. We were told earlier this evening that the Levoy is open 120 days of the year, and that they have been, that the community is more successful and prosperous because they're here. I question that. I'd like to know what hard statistics there are to show that the downtown is stronger because the Lavoie is there. And what happens to these businesses that are allegedly dependent on the Lavoie being open the rest of the year? 120 days is less than half of a year. What happens to these businesses the rest of the year? I know that the Orr House, Bojo's, El Guacamole, the Bogart's bookstore, they're open all year. So are they not benefiting all year? When we're looking at giving away millions of dollars that could have gone to improve the roads here, to bring in more business, the money that they owe us, the infrastructure in this city, that's money that's due my daughter. And when we talk about reworking that loan till a point when I know I'll be dead, and likely my grandchildren will be adults. I don't have any grandchildren yet. My daughter's still in high school. She will be grown, pushing 40 herself, and potentially a mother, likely a mother, and possibly, her children will be grown by 2039. This is a very serious decision that you're making that my grandchildren will be affected by. It's something to consider. I also don't understand the cat bank. If somebody would be so kind as to explain that. The most I understand is that the state government mandated that municipalities cannot increase their taxes above 2.5. And again, I may be wrong because I don't understand. I'm not going to claim to. But this cat bank at 3.5%, are we using that? Are we not going to use it so that maybe in the future we can get hit with an 8% increase? I'm not understanding, and if we're not, why are we saving it? If you would explain it not only to myself, but I know there's probably a lot of people who don't understand, and I would appreciate if you could be so kind as to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I close the public comment on agenda items only. Old business, please.
Okay, we have no old business, Mayor.
Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From the Parks and Public Buildings Department, here are some of the highlights from the past few weeks. So we cleaned up city-owned property at 230 South 4th Street. Pretty bad property over there, but all cleaned up and ready to go. Continue working with the city clerk's office on the warehouse documents, getting your documents over there to the warehouse and keeping those organized. Upcoming projects, we have building maintenance, replacing light bulbs, changing ceiling tiles, complete building inspections. We also have the repairs at the Boy Scout Point and at the Vets Plot flagpoles. Upcoming events. Next, we have the RVC meeting coming up tomorrow at the Millville Senior Center, 1500 South 2nd Street. And for all of you interested, that is, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. tomorrow, RVC meeting. All of you interested, and I know there's some in this room, the Snowflake Plunge, Saturday, February 23rd, 11:30 a.m. Who's interested?
We have to explain what the snowflake plunge is.
Snowflake Plunge is a plunge at 11:30 a.m. into Union Lake Park.
Water.
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 Not into the sand. Into the water. Now that I've completely explained that and described that, let's see the hands now. Okay. All right, Greg, I got one over there.
Volunteers?
Right. I was trying to get the mayor to go for that. Maybe Pastor Graves will go for that. Yeah, it's the Eagles put it on, and it's a pretty good fundraiser. But it's fun. A lot of costumes. People come out in costumes, and they get wet. Yeah. It's a plunge, though. You don't stay in there. It's a plunge. You go in, you go out. That's it. All right. Tried to get the mayor to do it, but he said no.
Yes, respectfully.
Okay. Also, we have the winter photo contest. So we are currently accepting photos for our annual winter photo contest. For all contest rules, please contact the Recreation Department. And don't forget the Holly City Walking Club every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30 at Lakeside Middle School. And with that, Mr. Mayor, moving forward.
Thank you, Commissioner Cooper. Great report. Commissioner Pepitone.
It's hard to follow that one, Bruce. I'm still grateful for the promotions and the hires that we had in our police department, and I'm grateful for the commission for supporting that as one of our promises. In addition, I'm in receipt of the fire department report for the month of January, and I move that it be received and filed.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And that's all for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Commissioner Udalvis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Presenting an update of the City of Millville's Community Development Block Grant 2019 program year, this evening's Commissioner's Report begins with an introduction to the Community Development Block Grant. The Community Development Block Grant is a program through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development that provides resources to communities in order to address the following national objectives: to benefit low and moderate income, to prevent or eliminate slums or blight, or to address community development needs of urgency due to existing conditions that pose a serious or immediate threat to the health or welfare of the community in absence of alternative funding. The 2019 CDBG social service application is available for community programs and social service providers in the City of Millville seeking Community Development Block Grant funding. As provided for by publication of the public notice on February 7, 2019, applications for social services were made available as of February 8th at the Planning Office in City Hall and on the City website beneath the Department of Public Affairs and the title of Housing and Community Development. Please note, applicants for social service grants must attend and participate in the mandatory first public hearing on Thursday, February 21st at 5 o'clock p.m. in the Richard C. McCarthy Commission Chamber, 4th floor of Millville City Hall. Applications must be submitted by 4:30 p.m. on Friday, March 1st, 2019. During the first public hearing, information will be provided to citizens regarding application procedures, timing, eligible activities meeting national objectives, reporting requirements, and additional regulations pertaining to the community development and home programs. Through the Citizens Participation Plan, the following individuals will dedicate their time, professional experience, and commitment to serving the City of Millville through the 2019 CDBG Advisory Committee: Denise Arrigo, Charlene Johnson, Debbie Malone, Heather Santoro, and Mayor Michael Santiago. As Director of Public Affairs and a member of the CDBG Advisory Committee, I extend my gratitude to CDBG Administrator Samantha Silvers and CDBG Consultant Alex Curio of Triad Associates for their continued support in providing information to applicants pertaining to national objectives, reporting requirements, and compliance to CDBG regulations. In regard to public relations, the Department of Public Affairs continues to accept and review nominations for the Making a Difference in Millville recognition. Please note that nomination forms for the Making a Difference in Millville recognition are available as PDF files on the city website, www.millvillenj.gov, beneath the category titled Forms and Public Relations, or available at Millville City Hall. In regard to the Construction Department, at this time, Mr. Mayor and Madam Clerk, I move to receive and file the January 2019 report of the Construction Department as required by and submitted to the Department of Community Affairs.
You want to do my tax?
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
And with the
Motion carries.
conclusion of this report, Mr. Mayor, progress.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I guess I want to try to get this in with my voice. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to submit the tax collector's report for the month of January 2019.
Second motion.
Any comments?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Nothing
Motion
else,
carries.
Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Last Wednesday, I had the opportunity to give the State of the City speech at New Jersey Motorsports Park. We had a great turnout. Vice Mayor was there, and I know the other commissioners are committed to employment. But it was a great opportunity, and I had the opportunity to gather information from each one of the departments, each one of these commissioners. And I must apologize to Commissioner Cooper because it was a time limit and I never got to your department. So I apologize, but I'm going to start off with it today. How's that? Is that better? Okay. I'm still not going to take the plunge, too. So, but the fact of the matter is, as you spoke about the RVC, and that's a committee of just volunteers that the city and through Commissioner Cooper's department has brought together a lot of people, and there have been several cleanups in the 3rd Ward. There's been cleanup along the river, and a lot of that gratitude goes to Samantha Cruz and also to the commissioner because that department is doing a great job in cleaning up specific areas throughout the city and all the other things that they put together for our youth and other people throughout the city. The police department, I spoke about them and the hires commissioner. When I first came on here 5 years ago, the police department was depleted. And now we're moving forward. And I don't like to give the number out because there's always those evil people out there called criminals that want to know how many cops you have out there. But I know we're in the 80 plus now,
Yes, we are.
which is a good number. And I know we're going to continue to grow because public safety is a major concern for all of us. It doesn't matter where you live. It's a major concern. But we're moving forward with that process. In addition, we're looking to hire additional firefighters. As you know, the fire that we had over on Sassafras Street, you had a fireman that was injured. He's doing good, but the best part about that a day after that, I was downstairs in front of all the employees downstairs, and I received a phone call, and the phone call was from Governor Murphy. And he said, Mike, I just want to let you know your firefighters did a great job, and I want to make sure that fireman is okay. So in my term here in 5 years, I've spoken to the guy 3 times on the phone. Whenever there's a serious situation in the city, he always reaches out. So it's something great that this governor does. But, you know, specifically, he wanted to make sure that you knew about it. And I contacted the chief and advised him of it while he was in Florida, by the way.
Yep.
But we're still growing there. Commissioner Udalova's department, she just gave you a great report. We're looking to move forward in gathering different businesses. Again, there's deals out there that we're looking to do. There's some that have already been signed, but look for us. This commission in the next 2 years, you're going to see some good things. You're going to see us put more people to work, whether it's local people or county people. Our goal is to bring businesses into the city and continue to have this city grow in a positive way. And when you have people like Pastor Graves, which just helps us, you know, move forward in a positive way because this commission is about doing things positive. And again, Vice Mayor here, he's in charge of finances, and we're doing the best we can with what we have to continue to use those funds to move the city forward. And I'm just excited for the next 2 years, as I gave my speech, as just wait and see what we're going to do for the city of Millville. In continuing my report, Commissioner, I got to give accolades to, well, actually, he's in my department, Fleet Maintenance from Public Works. The city really, we need more employees, but at this point we can't afford employees. All right, so our employees are doing like everybody else is doing. They're doing their job plus the job of someone else and someone else. But our police department has had some problems with vehicles, and I know that my employees at Fleet, we're down 1 person, and the 2 gentlemen that we have in there now are just knocking it out of the park with our cars. You know, those police cars are used 24/7, and usually because they don't belong to you, you kind of, I was in that department, you know, you kind of abuse them sometimes. But those employees are doing an outstanding job. Going back to the presentation at the New Jersey Motorsports Park, I had a group of administrators that came. Regina, what's your name again? Jeannie. But we had a great group of employees that were there, and it was important that we had to have them there because the public needs to know that we come up here twice a month, but the real work that's being done is done by the employees of the city of Millville. That's why we're moving forward, because us 5 just come up with the ideas, but they're the brainstormers. They're the ones that take what we think is going to happen in a good way, and they move forward with it. So we have to give them a lot of applause, and I'm so happy that they were there to be with me for that luncheon, along with the Vice Mayor and it was a very, very positive event. And thank you to New Jersey Motorsports Park and the Chamber for putting that on. With that, progress. Madam Clerk, it's all up to you now.
You have 2 items to be received and filed under your department for streets and roads.
Mr. Mayor, I move to receive and file the Streets and Roads Report for the month of January 2019.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move to receive and file the Engineering Status Report dated February 14th, 2019.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Ordinances on second reading.
Okay, we have an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the State of New Jersey Commissioner of Transportation for the Millville Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated to hold a coin drop on June 21st, 2019, June 22nd, 2019, August 23rd, 2019, and August 24th, 2019 on the Route 55 southbound exit ramp to Route 49.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
Ordinance number 1 on second reading. Anyone here that would like to address this ordinance on second reading, please step up to the mic, state your concerns and your name, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. See no one, I close ordinance number 1 on second reading. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for the Millville Babe Ruth Baseball League to hold a coin drop on May 17, 2019, May 18th, and May 19, 2019 at the intersections of Buckshootum and Cedarville Roads.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
Once again, ordinance number 2. Anyone that wants to address this ordinance on this baseball league coin drop on May 17th, please step up to the mic. State your name and your concerns and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close ordinance number 2. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is an ordinance amending Municipal Code, Chapter 39, Article 10, Schedule 21, Parking Reserved for Handicapped Persons, to add Louis J. Cologne, 212 D Street.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second motion.
Again, ordinance number 3 is on ordinance on second reading. Anyone that has any concerns about this ordinance, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close ordinance number 3 on second reading. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for the Millville Lightning to hold a coin drop on April 26th, 27th, and 28th, 2019 at the intersections of Buckshootum and Cedarville Roads.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
Once again, ordinance number 4 is on second reading for approval. It's another coin drop on Cedarville Road. Anyone that has any concerns, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close ordinance number 4. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 58-2018, which recently amended Chapter 11, Bureau of Permits and Inspections, in order to correct the effective date of Section 11-81B pertaining to elevator plan review and inspections.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second motion.
Once again, ordinance number 5 on second reading in reference to Chapter 11. Anyone that has any concerns, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close ordinance number 5. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 6 is an ordinance amending Article 19, 2-69, etc., etc., of the revised ordinance of the City of Millville.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second motion.
Once again, ordinance number 6. Anyone that has any comments or concerns, please step up to your mic, state your name and those concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close ordinance number 6. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinances on first reading, please.
Okay, item 1 is an ordinance approving and authorizing the application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for the S.J. Mayhem softball to hold a coin drop on March 30th and March 31st, 2019 at the intersections of Buckshootum and Cedarville Roads.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this ordinance on first reading with final consideration given on March 5th after due publication as provided for by law.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank in accordance with NJSA 40A:4-45.14 for the calendar year 2019.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this ordinance on first reading with final consideration to be given on March 5th, 2019 after due publication as provided for by law.
Second motion.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor, I know that this was one of the items that was required for clarification. Would our city administrator, in lieu of our chief financial officer, be able to provide a context or a background regarding the cap bank?
This is a standard resolution. I believe it was 1977 that DCA came out with. It's considered a cost of living adjustment that you're able to increase your budget. It's recommended by the auditors. It's just a precautionary. Most years it's never involved, but basically it allows you to take 3.5% and bank it should you need additional increase next year that would run over the 2.5. There is actually 2 laws. There's one in 1977. There was an additional one somewhere in the area of 2005, and that's the 2% one that we all talk about today. But this 1977 one has stayed as part of the law, and that one has a bank. So all your financial people, including your auditors, recommend you do it just as a safety net, not that you're going to use it.
Thank you for the clarification.
And just about every town does
Yeah,
that.
every town does.
And for the record, that's our city administrator, Regina Burke. Any other comments, questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for the Millville Girls Softball League to hold a coin drop on June 1st and 2nd, 2019 at the intersections of Buckshootum and Cedarville Roads.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this ordinance on first reading with final consideration on March 5th after due publication as provided for by law.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is an ordinance readopting Chapter 65 Taxation Article 1 5-year exemption and abatement subsections 6 through 1 through 65 through 15 in its entirety as required by the City of Millville Municipal Code subsection 65-4.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this ordinance on first reading with final consideration to be given on March 5th, 2019 after due publication as provided for by law.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Move right into resolutions, please.
Okay, our first resolution is approving request for irrevocable standby letter of credit release for Myrtle Packaging LLC, Hank Sauce, as submitted by the city engineer in compliance with NJSA 40:55D-53.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution approving request for performance surety bond release for Millville Dollar General LLC as submitted by the city engineer in compliance with NJSA 40:55D-53 municipal land use law.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? This is the new Dollar General at West Main Street by the school. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing adjustments in the tax and utility records.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing special assessment of municipal liens for certain properties due to expenses incurred by the City of Millville relating to board and secure plus administrative fees in accordance with Chapter 11, Article 1, subsection 11-6 of the Municipal Code.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is a resolution authorizing amendment to redeveloper agreement for Block 266, Lots 7.05 and 7.06 Village Drive.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6 is a resolution authorizing February 2019 amendment to the Standard Professional Services Agreement for GEI Consultants for ongoing environmental remediation proposals from April 24, 2018 and December 20, 2018 in the amounts of $399,818 and $239,372 for a total cost of $639,190, which the city is responsible for 15% of, equating to $95,878.50.
Mr. Mayor, with that, I have certification of availability of funds from Chief Financial Officer Marcella Shepard in the amount of $95,878.50, and I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing professional service contract with Clark Catton Hintz, 100 Baroque Street, Trenton, New Jersey, to perform planning services in connection with affordable housing matters in an amount not to exceed $5,000.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have certification of availability of funds in the amount of $5,000 from Chief Financial Officer Marcella Shepard, and I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8 is a resolution authorizing the City of Millville to enter into New Jersey School Board Association's ACES Cooperative Pricing System Agreement pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 18A:18A-11 and 40A:11-10.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9 is a resolution authorizing award of contract through the New Jersey School Board Association, a New Jersey state-approved cooperative pricing system with SHI International Corporation for IT management services in an amount not to exceed $52,000.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have certification of availability of funds in the amount of $52,000 from Chief Financial Officer Marcella Shepard, and I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 10 is a resolution authorizing the use of competitive contracting for the procurement of emergency medical services pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-4.3.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 11 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a third modification to note and loan agreement with the Lavoie Theater Preservation Society, Incorporated.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do have several comments, and there are a couple of factors that I would like to address with the help also of our city solicitor and city administrator, Regina Burke. In examination of the UEZ loans that were used for economic development purposes only, I would like to ask our city administrator to provide a brief overview regarding the use of those funds and the viability of using them. They are separate from general funds or from the tax base, and at this time I would like to refer to our city administrator to explain.
They are funds that are only used for the development of business. And from all the agendas and past records, when the $5 million it was $4 million from the UEZ, $1 million from the, was given, it was considered a grant. It had to be created as a loan because of the tax credits. We were not carrying it as a receivable on the books. There was no intent to have that portion of the funds paid back. So this is just memorializing that it is a grant.
If I could just comment on that, and that's actually not item 11, that's item 12 that you're referring to. But what happened with the tax credit is that the Levoy actually holds its note now. It purchased the note from the tax credit investor. So what we're doing is really a perfunctory thing, and really the only thing the city is losing on that, there was a little bit of interest, or there was some interest we were supposed to be paid, and we weren't even being paid that directly by the Levoy. Levoy was paying interest the way that it was structured to the tax credit investor, and then we were supposed to get it from the tax credit investor, and that hasn't happened for a long period of time. And so what they're doing now is unwinding the transaction. They were UEZ funds, and they were supposed to be used for this type of purpose. But that pertains to the $5 million grant, and $1 million of that was issued by the Cumberland County Improvement Authority, and they also are treating their $1 million as a grant too, and they've already written it off from their books.
So in order to provide clarification to the public, unless those funds are used for an economic development driver, something that pertains to economic development, those funds could not be utilized for other purposes pertaining to infrastructure for the city.
Correct.
Now, in terms of looking to the third modification and the loan repayment schedule, the original end date of the loan repayment terminates on 2040, which means that with the new third modification to this, the end of the schedule still ends at 2040. The factor that has been altered through this third modification is the repayment schedule. By the last 10 years, I believe, of the existing amendment, the payments would have exceeded over $100,000 annually. Through this plan, the commission would adopt, it would be a repayment of less than that per year, but that the actual balloon payment would occur at the end at 2040, where at that point the city would have to re-examine the standing of the Levoy Theater. They could also pay off more from the principal of the loan, but that the interest through the third modification has also been eradicated through this.
Well, that's right, but you also have to remember that under the last modification we did, we agreed to suspend interest, and we agreed that for a 10-year period of time, which I believe began in 2016, that we would only get a fixed payment. So we really haven't modified that part of it. I mean, we're still, for a long period of time, we're going to get a fixed payment. So it's not like this is costing the city anything now. It really isn't. I mean, in the future it might. But not at this point. And so that's something to consider about it.
While this also, I believe, pertains to resolution item number 12, one of the other factors that was taken into very serious consideration was one of the documents or one of the correspondence received from a former redevelopment attorney actually explaining the benefits of an exit payment that would allow the Levoy Theater Preservation Society to exit the New Market Tax Credits program. So in determining whether or not that resolution, which is resolution number 12, is a solution that the City Commission should consider as being a positive benefit, it was in fact evidence that was utilized through the decision making and through the actual drafting of the third modification. So there was a great deal of due diligence that was actually contributed to this, and for that I actually thank our city solicitor and our city administrator for helping to guide through this process and to understand all of the existing loan agreement modifications through the second agreement and how that actually would transfer over to our third modification. And at this time, Mr. Mayor, that is the conclusion of my comments for resolution item 11.
Any other comments?
I want to thank Ashley for her clarity.
Absolutely, and again, she's already mentioned the solicitor and also administrator, and I'm sure our Marcella Shepard, who holds the money along with the vice mayor here. But absolutely great job. You know, a lot of people worried about that we were spending their money, and in fact, what you just said, we weren't. It was money that was granted to the city through the state and other maybe federal funds. But excellent job, and the Levoy Theater is here to stay. And if you haven't been there, please go, because it's a great facility to go to. So absolutely good job, and I echo exactly what you're saying, Commissioner Pepitone.
Thank you, sir.
That along with the city employees, the commissioner and the solicitor did a great job.
If I may, one other thing to consider with the $5 million tax credit loan, there was going to the previous redevelopment attorney represented that we pay, I think it was $100,000, so that we would have first position, and that could be unwound. And the city declined to do that at the time, and we're not being asked to do that at all now. The Lavoie actually is paying that fee. I think they got it. They negotiated it down to $35,000, so we're not spending any money on that.
Great point.
And our $1.6 million note now has first place because the other one doesn't exist anymore. That's the only note against the property.
Excellent. Anyone else? Anything else, Commissioner?
Not at this time, Mr. Mayor.
That was her explanation. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 12 is a resolution authorizing the unwind and exit of the new markets tax credits transactions entered into to finance the Lavoie Theater project, authorizing conversion of the leverage loan into a grant and authorizing the execution of all necessary documents.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments?
Mr.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Mr. Mayor, to re-echo what our city solicitor had also conveyed through the last explanation, in looking at the exit payment, the previous amount could have exceeded, I do believe, $80,000. At this point, the $35,000 in the exit and the unwind payment from the NMTC program, it would be in the amount of $35,000, but the city is not liable for that payment.
They actually paid that, and they've actually, as I understand it, they then receive the note once they pay that, and so they've canceled their own note because they hold it. It's a very complicated transaction, the way that it was structured. I'm sure the vice mayor would be able to explain it if he had his voice.
Thanks.
We'll move on.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else?
Not this time, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 13 is a resolution approving towing operator license submitted by Tri-County Court to provide towing services to the City of Millville for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2019 and ending December 31st, 2020.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 14 is a resolution to ratify the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Millville and the Administrative Unit concerning conditions of employment for the years 2017 through 2020.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 15 is a resolution approving First Amendment to the purchase and sale agreement with Rovignati USA Incorporated, extending the inspection period expiration to April 30th, 2019.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? I'll make a comment. This is one of the new businesses that we're accepting in the City of Millville out in our airport. Great company. Good things are coming. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Absolutely, yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 16 is a resolution approving Second Amendment to purchase agreement with New Development LLC to extend the contingency date to June 30th, 2019.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
New business.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion on behalf of the Cumberland County Bar Association Foundation to hold a social affair permit for the annual Bar Foundation Spring Fundraiser on April 12, 2019 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Cumberland Clay College, 321 High Street, Millville, New Jersey.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalowicz?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Number 20, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the city clerk to advertise for request of proposal for basic life support emergency medical service response and transportation services, with said proposal to be returned to the purchasing board on March 21st, 2019, 10 a.m. Richard C. McCarthy Commission Chamber, 4th floor, City Hall, Millville, New Jersey.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We've now reached the public portion of our meeting. Anyone that would like to address this commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address your concerns, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Good evening, Commissioners. Rezica Brown, resident of Millville. And first, I just want to send out a congratulations to my pastor, Pastor Ralph Graves of Cornerstone, and also congratulations to the mayor for being a grandfather.
Thank you. I'm a grandfather for the first time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Little boy, thank you.
You're welcome. Just some upcoming events, especially for the artsy people. Open mic March 8th at 911 Church Street, which is Cornerstone, March 8th, 2019 at 7 p.m. And then April 19 at Hope Loft in Bridgeton. I'm also hosting another open mic. So if you guys know, I'll pass out flyers if you guys know anyone who wants to participate with their gifts and talents. And it's all about family friendly, positive, uplifting. So that's what I care for. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosica. Positive and uplifting. I love it.
I'm going to be very brief. I want to thank the commission for their foresight and their support over the years. The Levoy has been operating solidly for 6 years. We plan to give you another 20 based upon the agreement. We'll be back in 20 years to talk to you about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Van Emden.
That's why I sat close tonight. Greg Kears, trustee, Millville Historic Society. Just a quick update on our horse Luna Bell. We're like this close to hitting our goal. We're going to be having an unveiling in April for people who have donated to the restored carousel horse from Luna Park at Union Lake, and then a public event in May. Dates will be posted on Facebook, our Facebook group, and the information is available at the Historic Society Library at the corner of 2nd and 49. And if you want to donate, the information is also on Facebook, or you can pick it up at the same location Wednesdays and Sundays 1 to 4, I believe, are the times. And that's all.
Thank you, Greg. Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone. Natalie Tyson, Dream Builders Empire Network, also of Tesla Realty, a realtor by profession. Just wanted to say it's wonderful to be here. I missed the last meeting, and
we noticed. We noticed.
Yeah. We'll try to limit that. Okay, that doesn't occur again. But I'm glad to be here. As my commitment I made a long time ago, coming to the meetings, that I will teach one positive thing. We could never hear too much of it. And it's one of the most fundamental things, I guess, we taught as kids. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Let me put that in layman terms. Treat people the way you want to be treated, with the same kindness, with the same respect, with the same consideration as you like to be treated. There are not two standards. Whether we do business or we with friends or family, whatever we do, that should be our motto. Do others, treat others with the same fairness and kindness that we expect to be treated with. And so when we see people not treating others kindly, we know exactly where their hearts are or their minds are. But we want to change the culture. I don't care what the world says, how it should be done. We are responsible for ourselves to set our own standard and let that be the standard that governs our lives. Also, we just completed our first home buyer program. We ran that last Saturday and yesterday. The state of New Jersey has a first-time home buyer grant of up to $10,000 to help with home ownership. We are committed to teaching, not only because I'm a realtor. I am committed to teaching. There are opportunities available, and to educate people how they can maximize those opportunities. So our next one is slated for Monday, March 25th, 2019 at 6 p.m. The location will be announced later. But anybody doesn't have a home yet, please refer them to the seminar. God bless you. God bless this wonderful city of Millville. God bless the commissioners of this city. May God give you the grace, the wisdom, and the strength to continue to lead this city forward. Thank you. And also to the Levoy Theater. The theater does add something great to Millville. People come from all surrounding states to attend the theater here and put a little bit of spark on the high street. All right? So I continue to encourage you. We have to make Millville a fun city. Okay? God bless you.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Anyone else? I close the public comments for this meeting. Mary, are you getting up? Yeah. Sorry, my arm backing up. You were slow.
That's
Mary,
what happens when you get old.
Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, Mary Messaker of Millville. It's still early enough, but anybody that would be interested in being a exhibitor for National Night Out, which will be August 6th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It'll be held over at the field behind Lakeside Middle School. Please either see myself or see Officer Susan Taylor to receive your registration forms. It's still early enough. We need all our exhibitors that we can get. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And so you know, the commissioners will have a stand there also. Yeah, Duncan tank. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, can I close now, Mary? I close the public portion part of this meeting. Comments of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to say thank you to a couple of people, a couple of different organizations for coming by. One is Synergy. This is their second time they came by and gave us some more information about helping the city with some savings. It rang to my ears when I heard in 20 years we'll have $12 million worth of savings. So that may not seem like a lot, but hey, it's a substantial amount of money. However, I think we still may need to do some research when it comes to what's going on down at the sewer area with the solar down there. I'm not sure we've finished our due diligence in that. And I know, Commissioner Pepitone, you want to move forward with that, but I think, rest assured, we should complete our due diligence on that as well. Also, to Garden State Relief, thank them for coming by. I thought it was intriguing and exciting to hear that, with this new market coming throughout the state, although it seems to be trudging along, that Millville could be on the forefront in this market. So that's exciting. And I know, Mary, you've been in contact with them and had a lot of positive conversation with them. And I love the fact of the job opportunities.
Yes.
I think they said 50,000 square feet, so just to get started. So I'm happy we can put some juice behind that and get that moving. Also, I want to say thank you to Mary Ann and to Commissioner Udalvis for allowing Mary Ann to come forward with that report on the Millville development and what's going on High Street. And I agree with you, Commissioner Pepitone. I've never heard such a detailed report on what's going on High Street, and I think everybody appreciated that. It was very informative on what's going on and gives us a better idea on how our city's economy is really moving. We talk a lot about what's going on out the airport, but hey, there's some things going on High Street area as well. Miss Natalie, you had spoke about treat people the way you want to be treated, and you were surely missed at the last meeting. However, you came back with a nice nugget. Treat people how you want to be treated. I think there's a book that my mother gave me when I was young that said everything I need to know about life I learned in kindergarten. And that was one of the things that they talked about, was treat people how you want to be treated. However, I think in today's society, we only want to be one way about things. And we want to treat you how we want to treat you. So I think that's a nice little nugget that we can get back to as far as our morals and our values and how we treat people. Pastor Graves, you stayed the whole meeting, sir. I applaud you for that. We only have half a mass exodus from Cornerstone. So it was really good to honor you with that unity in the community. I owe you a T-shirt. I owe you a T-shirt that says Unity Community that we had made up for honorees. And really, I just want to say again, you exemplify integrity, intelligence, and truth. And I hope that you continue being that type of role model for the young men and women in our city. I want to finish with a quote. And, you know, we heard some interesting comments from some of our citizens out here tonight that, you know, we don't blow these things off. Andrea, you made some comments. Kurt made some comments. I write those things down, and I know other commissioners who write those things down. We go back, we do our own research. But I just say that to say that we're all in this together. So if you don't bring us what's on your mind and those ideas and what you see for the future of Millville, you know, it hurts us. So it's up to all of you to be a part of this process of moving forward in our city and making it the best city possible. So I found a quote that I wanted to finish with, and it's by Ken Blanchard, who's a leadership guru. And he said that none of us is as smart as all of us. So as we put our minds together collectively, our spirits together collectively, knowing what we want in a positive manner for our city, we'll do great things. And with that, Mr. Mayor, moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Pepitone.
Okay, first of all, prayers and gratitude to the firefighter that was injured. Not only to him, but to all the public servants that are out there that serve under public safety. They put their lives out there on their line for us each and every day to make us safe in a number of different ways. So a lot of gratitude to them and prayers out to them as well. Phenomenal presentation by Marianne Rhodes, again, what Ashley said. One of the things that you learn as the commissioners, we all have our own little worlds or silos or whatever you want to call it, where we're trying to do our best in our own area. And sometimes when we come here, we learn about all the things that are going on in somebody else's area and how wonderful and great the things in the city are. And I'm grateful Ashley took the time to bring Marianne on board to share that with us. So great job, Ash. And to Marianne, she's not here now. The new business that's coming to the airport, Rovignati, is that the food? The food people that are coming?
It's going to be food for you.
I'm telling you, it's they're bringing jobs as well.
Pasta,
right?
pasta, Joe, pasta.
It's pasta, right? Great business, as well as I'm excited about solar. I'm glad that you made the points that you did, Kurt. And Ashley brought me in the back. She says, calm down, there's other people involved. But again, not knowing the development that's going on in the city, I hear solar, I hear savings, and it's like, let's run with it. It's not to say that I'm running with this specific team, but it's another idea to save money or bring money in to help us offset the cost of taxes and things like that. Unity in the community. Pastor, I had an opportunity to sit under your teaching when my friend Bruce brought me. Very, very powerful. Interested in coming out again. Thank you for what you do for our city as well. And finally, home ownership. You talked about that. And again, I don't know where this falls into, But the city has properties. You, right?
Community development, well, there's public property, then there's community
If we
development.
have public properties and can figure out ways to help refurbish them for new homeowners that may not, other people might not want to live in those areas, but new homeowners may say, hey, I'm fine with that, as well as having home ownership as opposed to rentals in the property would bring Millville around. Am I going crazy? I'm just sharing with you
Well,
guys.
we're not going to share that with you, but you shared it with yourself, so yes.
But with all that excitement, Mayor, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Udalvis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Highlighting important reminders provided during the Commissioner's report, I remind all citizens and applicants for the 2019 CDBG social service applications that the mandatory first public hearing will take place this Thursday, February 21st at 5:00 p.m. in the Commission Chamber on the 4th floor of City Hall. The draft of the annual plan developed after the first hearing will be available for public review for a 30-day comment period beginning on Monday, March 11th, 2019. Reviewing this evening's work session item regarding the annual report of the Millville Development Corporation, I once again extend my gratitude to Marianne Lodes and the board of the MDC for providing an update of the economic investment, successes, and growth of the Glasstown Arts District as they aim to cultivate their continued collaboration with the City of Millville to utilize funding for facade improvements and partner in upcoming community events. And with the conclusion of this statement, Mr. Mayor, progress.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor.
Well, we try to talk now. I just want to thank the commissioners for picking up the slack. I hope to get my voice back, I hope by the next meeting. But thanks, commissioners, for doing that. Appreciate it all.
Thank you. No comment? No comment? He said it, not me. Pastor said it. Well, everything that I want to say has already been said, but Kurt, I will guarantee you that that's my department, Sewer Public Works. We'll definitely look into that and have a report for the next meeting as to how that's progressing or digressing. I'm not sure. So we'll definitely look into that. The Levoy Theater, congratulations. And you're absolutely right, Natalie. I've been there several times. They do an outstanding job, not only for the city, but the county, and also other counties that come there. The best part about it is that they offer the theater to children throughout the county of Cumberland. They advertise, they bring those kids to shows. That's a theater that's opening it up to our kids. I don't know how many of you, as a child, were ever able to go to the theater. But those doors are open for those kids. And I think that's a great thing. So congratulations and nothing but success for the Levoy Theater. Pastor Graves, you brought your whole family. We love it. We love that. And we love the positivity that you're doing. As Commissioner said, I don't want to repeat what he's saying, but obviously you're doing great things because you've been recognized by this commission, and we only recognize those who do good. So congratulations. And Marianne, again, that report about High Street, I'm sure it took a lot of us by surprise. But that's what's happening in the city, and maybe we're not sharing that enough, but I think that we're moving forward with what we want to do. So with that, I hope all of you have a safe trip home. Thank you for coming out, and can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.